The latest news on the Quinton Dunbar story leaves me at a complete loss. Turns out over the weekend we find out there's an allegation out there and evidence that possibly could show that Michael Grieco, who's the attorney and was the attorney for Quinton Dunbar, may have had a $55,000 payoff to the victims to get sworn testimony that said that this incident didn't happen. Then after reinvestigating, the police went back to the alleged victims and they said, no, it happened as far as that goes. Now, they didn't mention about the $55,000. But here's where the real revelation is, because certainly when you look at the Andre Baker and Quinton Dunbar, if indeed Dunbar did pay off money some way, somehow, to be able to get this thing out of there, then he's in big trouble. But I talked to David Avaye of the Miami Herald, who's covering this story, and he brought up some interesting points as far as when's this thing going to trial. And they're thinking now, and he says it could be 2021 to 2022. Why? Because this is in Miami-Dade County, right now the epicenter of the virus, and there hasn't been any trials since March of this year. And so he's thinking that this thing could go a year or 2 years. So now that puts both the NFL, the Seahawks, and the New York Giants in an interesting position to see how to handle this. Right now, you're innocent until proven guilty, and there's not going to be any trial, at least the rest of this year, and we'll see about next year. Well, I'm sure there'll be some next year, but in the end, what do? Do you allow them to play? Do you put them on the exempt list? Because if they're going to be on the exempt list, then it's going to be more than a year if that's going to happen. I can't tell you which way it's going to go. The Dunbar trade was a big bonus for Seattle. But what I have to think that you have to look at is that his chances of playing may not be good or may be good. We'll have to wait and see.